Here we go. Beginning of the next parak of Brachos, parak Zion, which talks mostly about halachos regarding benching. Last parak we spoke about brachos for food before you eat it. Now we talk about halachos of food after you eat it. And we begin from the very first Mishnah. Lots of halachos to get to this Mishnah, but we have a very short Amud, so let's plow right through. Shlosha sha'achlu ke'achas, 3 people who ate together. Chayavim lizamin. They have to make zimun together. So right away the Rambam says Shlosha sha'achlu pas ke'achad. 3 people who eat bread altogether. Chayavim levarech birchas hazimun. They have to make a birchas hazimun, a zimun together. Kodem birchas hamazon, before they do the actual benching. Ve'ezuhi birchas hazimun. And what is birchas hazimun? Im hayu ha'ochlim shlosha ad asara. If there were from 3 all the way until 10, meaning not 10, but 3 to 9 people, before less than 10, mevarech echad mehem, then one person makes the following bracha, ve'omer, and he says, mevarech she'achalnu mishalo. Blessed is the one who we ate from his food, meaning from God's food. V'akol onim, and everyone answers, baruch she'achalnu mishalo uv'tivo chayinu. V'uchozer mevarech, and then he makes the next part of the bracha, baruch she'achalnu mishalo uv'tivo chayinu. So very similar, exactly the same practically for our zimun, the way we do it today. Achal demai, if they ate from demai, uma'aser rishon shenitla trumaso, or from ma'aser rishon, which had truma taken from it, ma'aser sheni, the hektish sheniftu, or ma'aser sheni or hektish, which was redeemed. So these are 3 different kinds of food where there's some kind of doubt or not doubt, but this food is in some way questionable. So Rambam explains, Aval im achal demai, if they ate demai. Now, demai is food which we don't know if the person took off truma and meiser from. We simply don't know. So is it okay to eat? Is it not okay to eat? It's okay for aniyim to eat. So afal pi she'enu ra'oi elo la'aniyim, even though it's only okay for aniyim, for poor people. Oh, meiser rishon, or if they ate meiser rishon, shenitla trumaso, which had the truma taken off of it. Afal pi shelo nital mimenu cheshbon truma gedola, even though they didn't take off the truma gedola, the central truma which they would have had to take. O meiser sheni, the hektish sheniftu, or meiser sheni, which is the food that the person has to eat in Yerushalayim, the hektish, or food that was promised to be given to the Beis Hamikdash, sheniftu, which was redeemed, meaning traded for other food, that they then, which then took on the kedusha of the original food, and then they can eat the other food that was redeemed. Afal pi shelo nasa nasa chomesh, even though he didn't pay an extra 25% on the food, which is required when you redeem the food, even if he didn't do that, harei zeh mevarech tchila v'sof. You can make the bracha before and after you eat that food, because even though these are foods which are not exactly the best thing for a person to eat halachically, it's still okay. V'hashamish she'achal kazayas, or an attendant who ate a kazayas, an olive's worth of the food, of the meal with them. V'hakusi, or a kusi, which is a Samaritan, which was a schismatic sect, which was part of the Jewish nation many years ago when they were in Israel. And they believed in some parts of the Torah, some parts they didn't. So it was a little bit, the rabbis had to decide what was exactly their status in terms of their relation to the Jewish nation. But in this Mishnah, at least, mizamnin alav, we do make a zimun with these people, and also with the food, which was questionable. So in the Shulchan Aruch, they say hashamish she'achal kezayis, an attendant, a server, a waiter who brings them food. If he eats a kezayis of the food, mizamnin alav, he can make the zimun with them. However, kusi bezman hazeh, a modern day kusi, a modern day Samaritan, if you find such a person, harei u'ka'oved avodas elilim. It's just like any person who worships idols, the ein mizamnin alav. So today, the Shulchan Aruch is passing, we have a different attitude when it comes to these kusim. But in the time of the Gemara, mizamnin alav, in the time of the Mishnah, achal tevel, if someone ate tevel, which is food we know for a fact truma was not taken, meiser was not taken from it, u'meiser rishon shelo natla trumaso, or meiser rishon, which truma was not taken from it, u'meiser sheni v'hektish shelo niftu, or meiser sheni, food you have to eat in Jerusalem, or vehektish food that you have to donate to the temple, shalom niftu, which was not redeemed, meaning it still has the status of that holy food. V'hashamish she'achal pachos mikazayis, or a waiter who ate less than a kazayis, v'hanachi, or a non-Jew, ein mizamnin alav. You cannot make the zimun with them. So back into the Rambam, what he says is, Kol ha'ochel davar ha'asur, whoever eats any forbidden food, bein bezadon, bein bishkaga, whether by accident or on purpose, eino mevarech alav, lo b'tchila v'lo b'sof. You should not make any bracha on it, not before, not after. Ketzad, for example, haresha achal tevel, shall divrei, if a person ate tevel, food which was not, we know for a fact, meiser was not taken from this food. Osha achal meiser rishon shelo nitlu trumasa, or he eats meiser rishon that he knows for a fact truma was not taken from this food. O meiser sheni v'haktish shelo niftu kil chasan, or again, food you have to eat in Israel, or food promised to the Beit HaMikdash, which we know were not redeemed. Eino mevarech, do not make a bracha on it. The ein sarach lomar, and I don't even need to tell you, im achal nevelos utrefos, if he ate non-kosher animals or animals that were not shechted properly, or shota yayin nesach, or drank non-kosher wine, v'kayotzibo, and any other like food like this, for sure, no question whatsoever, not even a conversation, we don't make a bracha on it. Similarly, in terms of the nachri that and the shamish in mizamnin alav, the Rambam says in also in Hilchos Brachos, ha'akum, a non-Jew, ein mizamnin alav. We do not make a zimun with a non-Jew. Onward in the Mishnah, nashim va'avadim uktanim ein mizamnin alehem. We do not make a zimun with women, with slaves, or with children. Again, back in that same halacha, nashim va'avadim uktanim ein mizamnin alehem. That women, slaves, and children, we don't make a zimun with them. Aval mizamnin atzman, but they make the zimun for themselves. And interesting to note here, the Rav Hershel Schechter paskins that if women are making a zimun by themselves, a man can answer to their zimun. The man cannot say the zimun for the women, but they can, if they want, make the zimun for themselves. Ad kama mizamnin. So how much do you have to eat before you make the zimun? Answer, ad kazayas. You have to eat a full kazayas. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ad kibetza. Rabbi Yehuda holds a whole kibetza, an egg's worth, not an olive, but an egg. So how do we paskin? Rambam ein mizamnin ela almi she'achal kazayas pas ilmala. We don't make a zimun except with people who ate at least a kazayas, an olive's worth of bread and more. So the smaller opinion, the lighter opinion. That was the entire Mishnah, and that was most of the halachos we're going to do. Now we're going to zip through into the Gemara. Mina hanimili. How do we know this? How do we know that three people who eat together, that they need to make a zimun? Amar Rav Asi. Rav Asi says, the Amar Krat says in the pasuk, Gadlu laHashem iti u'neramama shemo yachtav. Let's exalt the Hashem with me, u'neramama shemo yachtav, and make his name great together. So it's implying that people are sitting together, and altogether they are glorifying God's name. That's the siman. That's the source for zimun from Tanakh, and this is a pasuk from Tehillim. Rabbi Abahu Omer, and Rabbi Abahu had a different source. Mehacha said from here, Ki Shem Hashem Ekra Havu Godel Lelokenu. The name of Hashem, let us call together. Havu Godel Lelokenu. Let us give greatness to our God. So here, Havu, let us give. Havu, the word Havu, implies a lot of people, again, coming together to ascribe greatness to Hashem, and that's a lot of people coming together to make a zimun, and that's the source for that. And that is a source from the Torah, from Devarim. Amar Rav Chanan bar Abba. Rav Chanan bar Abba says, Minayin la'ona amein. How do we know that someone who says an amein after a bracha, shelo yagbiya kolo yoter min hamavarich, that he should not say, raise his voice more than the one making the bracha. Shine Amar, as it says, Gadlu laHashem iti u'neromama shemo yachdav. Same pasuk. Let us exalt Hashem together, or make Hashem great together, and exalt His name as one. So the implication of this pasuk is that we will exalt His name together, or with me. So meaning with me, with my level of my voice, and not any higher than my voice. So the person makes a bracha, when he answers amen, should not go higher than the person making the bracha. And likewise, in the Rambam, last halacha of the day, Kol ha'ona amen. Anybody who says amen, lo yagbia kolo yoter min hamavarich, should not raise his voice more than the one making the bracha. Amar Rav Shimon ben Pazi. Rav Shimon ben Pazi says, "Minayin she'ein hamatargin rashai lahagbia kolo yoter min hakore." How do we know that the person who is translating the Torah, the parsha in shul, when the Baal Koreh would read from the Torah, there would be a second person there who would be translating pasuk by pasuk. So how do we know that that person is not allowed to say the translation louder than the one reading the Torah? Shnei Amar, as it says in the Torah, in the Chumash and Shmos, Moshe Yedaber ve'Elokim ya'anenu bakol. Moshe would speak and God would answer with his voice, or by a voice. She'ein Talmud Lomer bakol. The Torah did not need to say the word bakol. It just could have just said Moshe Yedaber ve'Elokim ya'anenu. God answered. Why bakol? Why did he answer with voice? Ma Talmud Lomer bakol. So why this extra word? Bakol shel Moshe, because it teaches us he answered with that God was speaking on the level of Moshe's voice. Tanya Nami Hachi, we also learn the same thing in a Brisa. Ein hamatargim rashai, the translator is not allowed, like bia kolo yoter min hakore, to raise his voice more than the one reading the Torah. Ve'em iyashar lamatargim, and if the translator is not able to raise his voice, like bia kolo keneged hakore, to speak at the same level of the one reading the Torah, then yima'ach kolo v'ikari. Then the person reading the Torah should speak lower to come down to the level of the Mitargim. At any point, at any rate, they should be speaking at the same level. Itmar, it's been said, Shnayim sha'achlu ka'achas, two people eating together. Pligi Rav Yochanan. Rav and Rav Yochanan had a machlokas. Chad Amar, one said, Im ratzu lezamin mizamnin. If they want to make a zimun, they can. Chad Amar im ratzu lezamin ein mizamnin. And the other said they cannot. So two people sitting together, either they can or they can't. So this is a machlokas Rav Yochanan. Tanan, we learned in a brisa, Shlosha she'achlu ka'achas chayavin lezamin. Three people eating together have to make a zimun. Shlosha in, shnayim lo. So three yes, two do not. Seems to be the implication, arguing against the person that says, the Amor that says we can make a zimun for only two people. So hasam chova. So that brisa is talking about a obligation, hacha rishus, and this machlokas is only an optional zimun if they want to, so they'd be allowed to. Tashma, come in here. Shlosha shachlu ka'achas chayav and lezami. Three who eat together have to make a zimun. Ve'ein rishayim lechalik, and they're not allowed to separate from each other. Shlosha ein shnayim lo. So three kaf, yes, should say zimun together, but two don't have to. No, Shani Hasam, why? Because they already knew from the beginning when they sat down that they are having the obligation to make the zimun together. Tashma, another attempt to knock apart one of the sides of this machlokas. Hashamish shahaya mishamish al hashnayim, that an attendant, a waiter, is serving two people. Hareza ochel imahim, he can eat with them. Afa pishalo nastu lo rishus, even if they don't give him explicit permission to allow him to sit and eat from the food, he is allowed to. Haya mishamish al hashlosha, but if someone is waitering for three people, he cannot join them. Ela imkein nasnu lo rishus, unless they give him explicit permission that he can eat of their food. So clearly it implies that three people should make a zimun, but two not necessarily. Shani hasam, so that's a different case. Why? Because they understood that the shamish coming to eat with their food is just standing by an original obligation, and they would have been okay with it. That is today's Amud, and we will continue from this conversation and hopefully get to the conclusion on tomorrow's Amud. Hope you all have a wonderful day.